All right. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me loud and clear? What kind of background is this? How did I select this? What is happening here? If you guys can see me loud and clear, please let me know, guys. All right. If you guys can see me loud and clear, please let me know while I walk out. All right. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, please drop a yes in the chat box. How did I put this background again for this media? All right. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, please let me know, guys. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let me work on removing these. Let me work on removing this background that added itself here. Let me see inside stream. All right. We're back. We're back, baby. Thank God. I was thinking what kind of background was that? It was confusing me. All right, let me update them in the Telegram channel that we're live. That we're currently live and everybody can join the call right away. We're live on YouTube. All right, so how's everyone doing today? Hope you all had a wonderful weekend, or how is your weekend going rather? Please drop a comment in the chat box telling me where you're from, okay? Let me know where you guys are from. If you're from South Africa, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, what part of Nigeria, just drop your state, guys, so I'll know where I'm chatting with you guys from. Drop your state, guys, so I'll know where I'm chatting with you guys from. Where are you chatting from? Drop it in the comment, guys. All right, I can see South Africa. Drop it in the comment. Remember, today is the last day of August. Right, today is the last day of August, and September starts in few hours. So have you written down your goals for the year? Have you told yourself, this is what I aim to achieve this year? This is what I aim to achieve in September. This is what I aim to achieve next month. Are you ready? Or you want to go into September the same way you started August without a plan? Do you understand? You need to ask yourself, are you ready? Ask yourself, guys, are you ready? That is the most important information. Are you ready? All right. Let me update everybody also. So let me post it also on Instagram. They are currently live. We're live on YouTube, baby. All right, tap here to join. Let's get more. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate the love, guys. Really, really appreciate the love. All right, so tell me where you're watching from, guys. Let me know where you're watching from. Immediately you're joining, just let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching from, like I said, Ghana, South Africa, USA, China, ASAP, so we can get started, okay? Let me get my trading view started up and running. So that immediately I'm done, we just move into trading view and we hit the market immediately. No time to check time, guys. All right, no time to check time. Let's make money, guys. All right, is the network a bit better now? Help me confirm, guys. Is the network a bit better now? Because a lot of you were saying the network was lagging. How about now? Is the network better now? If the network is a bit better, please let me know, guys. The bar is really showing down, like really, really down. I don't know why. All right, a lot of you are saying the call is lagging. This is really bad, though. I was thinking the network. So the network is very bad, right? Okay, a bit better. Nice. Come back to the stage. All right, let me share my screen. If you guys can see my screen, let me know, okay? So we can start trading immediately. right, so can you guys see my screen? Wonderful. I like this. So if you can see my screen, please let me know, guys, so I can continue. All right, so let's proceed and analyze the chart together, okay? All right, so let's start with gold. Where is gold? Let me open gold XAU USD. Please, immediately you can see my screen, update me immediately, okay? Immediately you can see, just update me so that I would reconnect the screen. All right. Yeah, I actually trade supply and demand. Nothing really crazy, just pure supply and demand, guys. All right, good. Now let's analyze the chart together. So before we continue, just let me know where you're watching from, okay? Let me know where you're watching from. Which country are you watching this live from? And how long have you been following Tonysnip3r so we can kickstart immediately, all right? Also, for those of you which this is your first time, let me pin my Telegram channel below so that you can actually join if you've never joined if this is your first time. Let me pin my Telegram channel below also so that in case if you've not joined before, you can actually join via this call. Just let me know which country you're watching from. I want to know where all my subscribers are from. Are you guys mostly from Africa or outside Africa? Mostly from Africa or outside Africa? All right, let me pin this in the comment section. All right, let's start analyzing though while I'm pinning this, okay? Liberia, Nigeria. I can see I have more African subscribers. That's really nice. I love it. All right, into the chart immediately, okay? Now let's take this out because this is the start of a new week. We'll take this out also, and we move to the weekly time frame, right? We move to the weekly time frame. No time to check time, because if you check time, then you're snoozing. All right. Now let's delete every single thing on here. So it will also be what? Be easier to analyze. All right. Let me pin our. So, how many of you are gold traders? How many of you are gold traders? This is what gold chart looks like, right? We actually started the week a bit bearish, but market ended up moving in our position, right? So yeah, free Telegram channel here. Please, I also want to address this because a lot of you have been asking me if I offer investments. Please, I don't offer investments. There's a lot of fake channels out there impersonating Tonysnip3r. So please, you have to be very, very careful. Please, guys, I'm actually really pleading at this point. You have to be very, very careful. A lot of channels are actually impersonating Tonysnip3r. A lot of them are asking for investment. A lot of them are telling you to send money, to do this, to do. Please don't send anybody money. I would never come online and ask you to send me money for investment. Please take note of this. If you join any Telegram channel that is asking for investment, just know that Tonysnip3r has no business with this Telegram channel. The earlier you know, the better for you. Please, I'm begging you. Okay? Give me a minute. All right. Now let's dive into the chart immediately, okay? I've pinned my Telegram channel. Have you guys seen it? I just pinned my Telegram channel now. Have you guys seen it? All right. ASAP we go. All right. So like I've always said, before you analyze the charts, you want to pay attention to what? The first three candle. All right. You want to pay attention to what? The first three candle. Because of course, before you analyze your charts, you must start from the weekly time frame. I'm sure everybody's already aware with that. Before you analyze the charts, you must start from where? From the weekly time frame. Please don't forget. Now we want to pay attention to the first three candle. And the first three candle we're paying attention to is this three candle here. The first three candle before the recent candle that was created, which is 1, 2, 3. That small white candle, the dark candle, and also the smaller white candle. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to exactly what is happening here. We are all aware that gold is in an uptrend. True or false? True. Now, we can see this market has actually gone up, retested here, went up, retested here again, went up one more time, came back to retest here, and now the market is going for a second push to the upside. This is exactly what gold has been doing. This is it. This is exactly what has been happening on gold, for those of you that are not aware. The market is actually very bullish. I'll still talk about some of the fundamental insights we need to pay attention to. All right. I'll still talk about the fundamental insight, but for now, pay attention to this that I'm actually talking about. The market is very bullish. Gold is heading towards an all-time high. USA versus Venezuela conflict is intensifying. Do you understand? So these are informations you need to put in place. All right. What is making gold pump fundamentally? What is making gold pump technically? And how should I arrange myself this week or prepare myself this week to make money from the market? That's the only thing you want to pay attention to. Do you understand me? That's the only thing you want to what? Pay attention to. Good. Now, the last three candle, we can actually see that this last three candle was just what? Was just a mere retracement, because at the end of the day, the market was struggling to break below here, and the market did not. Can you see? The market was struggling to break below this last candle, and the market did not. What happened next? We saw a huge push. Now, this market is approaching a very, very crucial resistance zone. This is on your weekly time frame, a very crucial resistance zone. Now, two things will happen. It's either this market creates a huge bearish candle that would close like this. Do you understand? And ends up giving us a new all-time high for gold. Then the push to the upside continues. Or we see a retracement that will dump gold back. But judging from this charts, tell me what you can actually see here. Gold is very bullish. And I can bet with every single person that the market is looking to create more all-time high than going back. Any retracement we'll be seeing from gold is just a mere retracement, because this last three candle is already signifying that, see it here, this last three candle is already signifying that this drop to the downside was a retracement for more push to the upside. Let me remove it here so you see it clearly. This is what this last three candle looked like. This drop to the downside was a retracement for what? For more push to the upside. Now, a lot is going on fundamentally, but let's finish with the technical analysis. Then I'll break down some of the fundamental insights you need to also what? Pay attention to. All right. Now, we're done with the weekly time frame because we understand what the last three candles are saying, right? Good. Now, let's move to the daily. For those of you that have not been watching my YouTube video, please go watch my YouTube video so you can understand key levels and so on and so forth, so you're not confused, okay? Good. Now, let's start with, let's draw this level here. Let's pay attention to this level here, 1. Let's pay attention to this other level here, 2. On your daily time frame, you don't really do much. What you just go to draw is your support and resistance so that you have clarity on where the market is currently heading to. This was your support and this was your resistance. Remember, you use the weekly time frame for direction. You use your daily time frame to spot out your support and resistance zone. Then you move to your 4-hour. Now, when we get to the 4-hour, that's where the reanalysis comes in play. All right. Now, let's reduce this chart and let's mark out some zones that we want to pay attention to on the 4-hour. Now, for those of you who are my students or who have already paid for the mentorship for September, October, November, the last 3 months mentorship for this year, you would learn every single reason why I'm picking this level currently. All right. This level would give you clarity on where gold will be heading to and where gold will not what be heading to. Now, after this level that we've already marked, it's safe to say we can take out our support and resistance zone because we've just successfully marked what? We've just successfully marked our major and minor supply and demand zones. All right. Now, I don't need to go into details explaining why these zones are major or minor, blah, 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 blah. Do you understand? My students understand why I selected that zone. But for the sake of this live session, I'll still give you guys a little bit of clarity. Now, when it comes to marking your supply and demand zone, these zones help you to buy and sell the market confidently. Do you understand? That is the advantage of marking your supplies and demand zone. It helps you to buy and sell the market confidently. You're not just buying because you want to buy. You're not selling because you want to sell. That's the advantage of what? Of supply and demand. And all my students, both the physical and online, they understand it. All right. So let's mark out these zones. Remember, immediately you start analyzing the charts, the first time frame you want to go to is what? Your weekly time frame. Now, what are you using your weekly time frame for? You use your weekly time frame to understand the direction of the market. Boom, you're done. Then you head to where? You head to your daily time frame. When you go to your daily time frame, what do you draw on your daily time frame? Support and resistance. As simple as that, as straightforward as possible. Now, once you're done drawing your support and resistance, then what happens next? You move to your 4-hour time frame. Now, on your 4-hour time frame, that is where you what? That is where you mark out your supply and demand zone. Now, supply and demand is divided into 2, major and minor. For those of you that have already paid for this mentorship, I repeat, the mentorship window will be closing tomorrow, 6 p.m. If you've not joined the mentorship, tap the link to our free Telegram channel, join our Telegram. Immediately join the Telegram, go to our mentorship waitlist, make your payment. Do you understand? This will be the last one for the year. I never intended hosting anyone, but because of the demand and how the YouTube blew up and all of a sudden everybody wanted to learn, that was why I decided to host one more before I close up this year. Do you understand me? Now, one advantage with me is that I will teach you how to read fundamental analysis like a pro. I would help you interpret every single news you come across, and we make money, we lose money together. Do you get? Good. Now let's go back to this point here. All right, so what can we see on gold now currently? For those of you that are pattern traders, do you understand? I would never come out to tell anybody that your concept is wrong or your concept is rubbish. Do you understand? Because everybody have the same, everybody have ways they view the market. Now, if you watch the video I uploaded on YouTube, which I talked about continuation and reversal or market structure, please go to my YouTube channel if you've not watched that video when I talked about market structure. Now, if you've watched that video, you pay attention to what happened here on gold. This was actually a continuation pattern. And whenever you spot a continuation pattern, what is that telling you? This market is about to continue pushing to the upside. Remember, we have two types of exhaustion. An exhaustion that leads to a reversal. It is usually found where? At the resistance or at the supply zone. Then we have another exhaustion, an exhaustion that leads towards a continuation. Now, what examples of exhaustion leads to a continuation? A wedge formation, an inverse head and shoulder. These are informations as a forex trader you're supposed to be aware of. Do you understand? These are informations you're supposed to be aware of. If you don't understand the simple market structure, which exhaustion is a distribution, which exhaustion is an accumulation, why would gold buy, why would gold sell, then you have 3 reasons before you take a trade. 3 reasons before you enter every single trade. There's no super strategy to enter the market. There's no super strategy to exit the market. It all boils down to the strategy you focus on before buying, or the strategy you focus on before what? Before selling that market. So please and please pay attention to every single information I'm giving out here, because it will help you what? Make a lot of money from the market. So we've actually seen what's going on currently with gold. And of course, we can actually tell that this market is more bullish than bearish. Now, what other level do we want to pay attention to? Let's look at this level here. Gold broke above this level here, right? Now, immediately gold broke above this level, what happened? We noticed the market came back. Let me make this big. We noticed the market came back to test what? The market came back to test this level. Do you understand? We noticed what? We noticed the market came back to test what? To test this level. That automatically tells you that what? Gold is preparing for a massive push to the upside. Let me get water. Give me a minute. All right, so I'm back. So let's talk about what happened immediately gold. Jesus Christ. I just noticed we're over 537 individuals watching this live. Wow. This is actually my highest live since I started the YouTube channel. Even the live session I had with Apple Wheels, we didn't actually get this number of persons watching our live. Wow. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate the love, guys. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate the love. I don't even know what to say at this point. Thank you all so much. The fact that you guys are actually enjoying my content, you guys are actually watching it, recommending it to people, I really appreciate it. And I love you guys so much. All right. Now let's go back to the chat. All right. So what can we actually tell from this chart? We can clearly say this market that retraced at this point is actually what? Preparing for a massive push to the upside. Now, would you agree with me that the market also created a continuation pattern here? A continuation pattern here. Would you agree with me? So why gold was pushing to the upside, those of you that have actually been paying attention to everything that was happening, this wouldn't be a surprise to you at all. Do you understand? Now, how did I know that this is a continuation pattern? Let's move to the 1 hour time frame. Can you see? Can you see how I knew that this pattern was a continuation pattern? Oh my God, don't worry. I'm here to change the game for you guys. And when I'm actually done with you guys, every single trader in Nigeria is actually what's actually going to be a beast trader, because it's high time we send all these prop firms packing. Do you understand? We've been laughing with them too much. This year, we are only coming to make money. That's the only thing we're coming for this year. Only to make money. So if you know you're ready to make money this year, stay connected to Tonysnip3r, because like I said, I've told you guys, I'm not your last, I'm not your God, or I'm not a Lord to you. I'm your last hope in attaining profitability. So stay close. Make sure you're on my Telegram channel. Make sure you're watching every single video we're actually creating, and wish you guys success, your trading journey. and we'll make a lot of money together from the markets. All right. So what next for gold? We've actually broken gold down into pieces. Let me go back to the daily time frame. So some of you that have actually not seen this video can actually see it. If you can pay attention to what's going on here. Let me bring this back up. Because guys, I want us to make money I want us to make money very well this month of September. I want us to make a lot of money this month of September. Please don't snooze. Do you understand? Please, I'm begging you, don't snooze. Stay connected to all Tonysnip3r's Telegram updates so you don't miss anyone. Okay? Stay connected to all Tonysnip3r's Telegram updates so you don't miss anyone. Now, how did we start? We started from the weekly time frame, right? And on the weekly time frame, what did we do? For the sake of those of you that are just joining, let me just give you guys a quick recap. So we started from the weekly time frame. From the weekly time frame, what did we do? We marked out the direction of the charts. How did we mark out the direction of the chart? We started with the last three candles, 1, 2, 3. Then this candle determined that, okay, this market pushed up, came back to retest, then continued pushing. The market did not break below this pressure here. Remember, I told you guys on my how to trade gold like a pro. Whenever you see wicks below the candle on gold, the longer the wick, the more significant that wick is on that chart. Do you get? So for us to have spotted this week, we needed this market to break below this week for us to say this market is actually bearish or the bears have actually taken over. Always take notes, guys. Do you understand? Always take notes. Now, we then moved to the daily time frame. Immediately we moved to the daily time frame. What did we talk about? Immediately moved to the daily time frame. Then we drawed our what? We drawed our support and resistance. Of course, the first, you always need to make sure when drawing your support and resistance that the market taps that zone at least 3 times. At least how many times? 3 times. Very, very important on your support and on your resistance. Now, this will tell you that this zone is a valid support or this zone is a valid what? Resistance. Then after you're done with that, now you're all done with the weekly and daily analysis. Now you're moving to what? You're moving to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, that's when you draw your what? You draw your key levels or your supply and demand zone or whatever levels you want to draw if you've been watching my videos. Then you mark out some of the patterns that you've actually seen, right? Some of the patterns that you've actually seen. Remember, don't be a pattern trader. You only use some of these informations as confluence. Do you understand? You use them as confluence so you get clarity on where the market is heading to. Now, when it comes to selling or buying, you can also pay attention to some of these liquidity zones that the market rejected here and dumped aggressively, or some of these liquidity zones that the market cleared here and pumped. Do you get? But the fact that we're analyzing gold, let's take our time. We're not in a rush and we'll explain for everybody to make money together. All right? Good. Now, what can we see here? If you would ask me, Tonysnip3r, what are you looking forward on gold? I'll tell you, I expect gold to give us a retracement to 3,438. Then we'll create a new all-time high. Or another scenario that could happen here is that the next candle that forms above here and continue pushing to create a new all-time high. Except as the market is currently at this position now, we start seeing a consolidation. And the consolidation lasts for like 3 or 4 days. And the market is looking more bearish than bullish. Then maybe a fundamental news comes out and dollar gets strengthened and all of a sudden the panic and fear reduces. Then we'll see a huge dump on gold. But without that, fundamentally, gold is bullish. Technically, gold is what? Very, very bullish. And of course, for those of you that are in my Telegram channel, you know every single day I send daily outlook. Now that daily outlook is to help you get certain positions in place so that even if I don't send you a signal, you know why you're buying, you know why you're what? Why you're selling. All right. So that's all for gold. Let's move to another currency pair. Now let's move to AUD USD. AUD USD has quite been tricky all this while, and the market has actually been following us. For those of you that have been watching my live session on YouTube, there's no live session I've done on YouTube that I did not analyze the market and the market did not go in our direction. Go and watch all the previous live session. Go and watch all the previous live session. Now, I'm not a god. I just react to the market and use fundamental analysis to back whatever I'm seeing in the market. Ever since I learned fundamental analysis 3 years down the line, I actually became more profitable, because before I was buying and selling because of FVG, because of other block, because of this, because of that. Now, I'm not telling you that won't keep you profitable. Of course, you're going to be profitable with whatever system you trade. Even if you trade simple supply and demand, you'll make a lot of money from the market. Do you understand? Even if you trade just supply and demand, or you trade just support and resistance, or you trade just patterns, or you trade just head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, or normal head and shoulder, you still make money. What it boils down to at the end of the day is, why are you buying that market? Why are you selling that market? Are you just buying the market because you spotted an FVG? Are you just buying the market because you spotted an order block? Is there a reason why you're buying this market? That is what you should be asking yourself every single day if you want to make money from this market. Ask yourself, why are you buying? Why are you selling? So let's go back to the chart. All right, so this is the weekly time frame for, this is the weekly time frame for AUD USD. And from this weekly time frame, we can clearly say this market is very, very exhausted. But the reason why the market is still surviving is because of what? Is because of gold. Remember, I told you guys that Australia's economy is tied to the progress of gold, except when there's a global confluence or there's a global problem that is happening, that everybody is confused and gold is pumping like a rocket ship. That's when Australia's economy cannot keep close to what's going on. Now, if we mark this zone, you can actually see, this is your weekly time frame. You can see the Australian dollar has been struggling to break above the zone. And if the market continues to struggle, we would have no choice than to expect a huge dump from Australian dollar. All right. Now let's move to the daily time frame and see what we can actually see. Now, from the daily time frame, you can already even tell that this market is what? You can already tell that this market is exhausted. The market is struggling to pump. Every single time the market got into this zone, every single time the market got into this zone here, we saw a huge dump. Every single time the market gets into this zone, we see a huge dump. And now the market is currently back into that zone. What should we be expecting? A huge dump also? Well, let's see. Remember, we are snipers. Now, as a sniper, or if you've decided to call yourself a sniper because you follow Tonysnip3r, you should always remember that we don't chase the market. We always wait for the market to come to us. We don't predict the markets if there's no fundamental news backing our claims. Do you understand? Like gold, now I've given you guys, I will still give you guys some of the fundamental news when I'm done with AUD and NZD. Then I'll talk about them because they are all connected. All right. Now, we're currently back into this zone. Will AUD USD finally break out this zone and shoot to the upside? Well, we'll see. Now, let's move to the 4 hour so we can get more clarity. Now, on the 4 hour time frame, let me take this out. On the 4 hour time frame, you can clearly see that at this point here, right? At this point here, we actually have a very good sell setup. And the market tested it when? The market tested it only once. Now, this other time here, what happened to this other time here? The market tried breaking above here. Then we saw a huge dump back. Now, the market is heading back towards that zone. Do you understand? So that means what? That means we can actually expect this market to tap into what? Into the zone. Then if AUD can tap into the zone, then we can be looking for sells to the downside. Technically, that's how the chart is looking. Do you understand? I want to make every single trader in the world profitable that have actually come across my post. If you stay in Nigeria, you stay in Ghana, you stay in Cameroon, you stay in Rwanda, you stay in South Africa, I'm making every single of you profitable. USA, UK, Europe, any part of Europe, Asia, stay close and I promise to make you very, very profitable. Please don't miss any content I put out here. Even the ones I talk about charts, the ones I don't talk about charts, they will always help you. Now, one difference between me and every single trader you see in Nigeria is that I don't believe I have nothing to learn from every conversation I engage in. Every conversation you get into, please learn something. All right? Even if you're bigger than that person, even if the person is bigger than you, learn something. So these are our analysis for AED USD. Now let's move to NZD USD. Of course, you know, if you are looking for an analysis for AED USD, you don't need to do much on NZD USD. You just need to also look for a buy. You don't even need to waste your time going to the weekly time frame. You understand? You just need to also look for what? Look for a zone where you're looking to sell NZD USD. Because of course, we all know if dollar continues to get weaker, pairs like NZD USD and AED USD will continue to pump. Only what if dollar continues to get weaker? All right, so we're done talking about gold, AED USD, NZD USD. Now let's explain the fundamental news events behind all this. Now, recently, I sent a post into my Telegram channel. If you're part of my Telegram channel, definitely you've actually seen that post. I told you guys that USA is preparing to engage Venezuela. Remember, Trump have actually declared the president of Venezuela wanted. So a lot is already going on that side. Now, what effect would that bring to the market? Definitely, that would make the market very bullish for gold. Do you understand? That will make the market very, very bullish for gold, because whenever tension rises, gold tends to always pump aggressively and sometimes create a new all-time high. Do you understand? Gold always pumps aggressively and sometimes creates a new all-time high. So if you've been enjoying what I've been saying so far and you want me to continue so we can talk about other pairs, please smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button aggressively. We currently have just 200 likes. Get that likes to 500. Smash the like button aggressively, all right? So I can move to the next pair. Smash the like button aggressively, guys. So let's talk about the fundamental news behind what's currently going on the dollar and how we can actually make money from it. Okay, now some of the fundamental news or some of the information going up behind the dollar is that, number one, the United States dollar have actually been in the bearish trend for a while now. Let me go to the XY so you can actually see it. The market has actually been bearish for a while. Ever since we tapped into $100 here, the index has actually crashed a bit, and yeah, from 101, 103, in fact, from as far back March 2025, from March till date, the United States dollar has actually been crashing. You understand? And Trump is still calling for a rate cut. Now, so long as Donald Trump continues to call for a rate cut, the market will continue to dump aggressively. Not because of him calling for a rate cut, but because there's no reason to currently be buying the USD at the moment. So except maybe some fundamental news comes in and all of a sudden traders see reason to move to the United States dollar, like investors running there, so on and so forth, that's when automatically the United States dollar will get very strong. Right? And when the dollar gets very strong, definitely we'll make money from the market. You know how we do it. I always give you guys fundamental insight, PMI data, CPI, PPI, NFP, FOMC. I'll always break it down to you guys so you can also make money if I'm online or if I'm offline, right? So remember, the first fundamental news, USA is planning on engaging Venezuela, which will cause tension and the market will pump aggressively, especially gold, JPY, CHF, so on and so forth. The lady I made video for yesterday, Lisa Cook, the woman that works with the federal governor, that is also part of the committee that are in charge of interest rates and monetary policy decision. She just sued Donald Trump, and we've not heard anything from Trump yet. Let's see if he will attack her back or if he will do something that would counter what she just did. So a lot is already going on with the United States economy. Do you understand? A lot is already going on over there. That's why a lot of people are moving to safer haven currency. Plus the year is almost ending. Always remember, quarter one, quarter two, which is January, February, March, April, May, June, 3 months. That is one of the best months to trade the Forex market because of high volatility. Now, once we enter quarter three, July, August, especially July, August, you see these 2 months, July, August, that's when most people travel for summer trips. Do you understand? July, August, that's when most people travel for what? For summer trips. Now, when we move into September, volatility comes back into the market. September, October, then November, we lose volatility. December, we lose volatility until January again because people will take holiday. All right. So everybody is looking forward to September, if we'll be expecting a rate cut or not. Well, if you would ask me, the inflation is not cooling down in the USA. A lot is already going on. Powell is already complaining on how tariff is affecting the US economy more than doing good. If you would ask me, from my own perspective or from what I'm actually saying, there won't be a rate cut. But a lot of people are already shouting rate cut, rate cut, rate cut. So let's see if they would end up what? If they would end up giving us a rate cut. Now, also, kindly explain how the news on the US appeal court on Trump tariff affects dollar and gold. Now, whenever you notice Donald Trump having an issue with the federal courts, which is the US appeal court, or you notice Donald Trump having an issue with Powell, that automatically gives dollar this kind of view that a lot is going on in-house. So people move to other assets. Imagine you and your brother. Okay, let's say your brother own a company and you, his junior brother, is fighting your brother and someone wants to invest into your company. If that person should find out that there's a conflict inside the family, do you think the person will end up investing? No, because the person will be like, you've not even solved what's going on, and all of a sudden you want to solve what's happening on my end. Do you understand? So the person will also be careful. So these are informations you also need to pay attention to. All right. So let's move to other pairs. Now let's go to US oil. US oil, my wonderful pair. I've been calling this sell since here. The last live session we had, I think it was the one I did with Dapper Wheels, or the one before that. I talked about this US oil sell. It was at $68. I told you guys to sell US oil aggressively. If you've not seen that video, go and watch the video. Do you understand? Go and watch that video. I told you guys that US oil was going to crash aggressively, and the market ended up crashing. Now, US oil is approaching this zone. This is where I want to buy US oil from, because this is where I feel the market is cheapest. It will be at its cheapest demand zone. So if US oil can dump into this zone here, $62.50, then I'll be looking to long this market. But for now, I'm not buying, I'm not selling. I'll just be calm, waiting for the market to what? Waiting for the market to come to me as usual. As I always do. I always wait for the market to come to me. I'm never in a rush. Do you understand? I'm never in a rush. So that's that, guys. Do you understand? I'm never in a rush. So all right, so let's continue. Let's see what's going on. All right, let's continue. So let's continue. Let's see what's going on. Right. Now let's move to is this USD JPY? Yes, this is USD JPY. Now a lot is already happening in the US economy, and I've told you guys before, when a lot is going on in the US economy, investors move out to other assets that are safer. They are not looking to make profits. They just want to save the money that they've made. And all of a sudden, assets like JPY, CHF, and gold get stronger. Now, there are so many other assets and stocks that also get stronger. But for those of you that will be part of my mentorship starting tomorrow, you're definitely going to get all the information. Remember, you still have less than 24 hours to make payments. Payment date closes tomorrow 6 p.m. and after it closes, please don't come to my DM asking me for any mentorship, please, until next year. All right, until next year. This will be the last one for the year, 3 months, and these 3 months we're also going to be trading together. All right, so for those of you that will be looking forward to Signal, you can be joining the Signal group. All right, yeah. Now, so if you look at USD JPY and you ask me, Tonysnip3r, what are you saying? Firstly, I would say let's go to the daily time. Let's go to the weekly time frame as usual. Now, what do you want to look out for? You want to look out for the last 3 candles. 1, 2, 3. Here, let me make it bigger so everybody can see. The last 3 candles from here to where? The last 3 candles from here to here. And what can you see from this market? If you would ask me, all I can see here is exhaustion. This market is exhausted. But there are some exhaustion that would also lead to a huge dump to the downside. And there are some exhaustion where the market regains strength and continues pumping aggressively to the upside. Do you understand? So these are informations you need to be aware of as a forex trader or as someone looking to make money from the market. Do you understand? These are informations you need to be aware of. So a lot is already going on. I've advised my students to just avoid the USD pair for now. Trade other pairs, GBP JPY, GBP AUD. You'll get more entries and more setups from those pairs because a lot is already going on in the USA economy. And this market might likely pump here, come back here, pump here, come back here, and you'll be angry with yourself, or you'll be saying your strategy is not working. Well, your strategy is working. The reason why it looks like that is because a lot is going on in the United States of America. And since a lot is going on, you actually feel your strategy is not working. I'm just here to remind you that your strategy is working perfectly. Do you understand? Your strategy is working what? Perfectly. So let's look into BTC USD. For those of you that trade BTC USD, I've been saying this since last week and I'll continue to say it. BTC USD will continue to dump aggressively. The market actually just went up to clear the liquidity here. You can actually see it here. That's what happened here. The market just went up to clear this liquidity. Then we saw an institutional candle entering into the market. And since then, the market has actually been dumping. So the market is currently at a very good zone where we might actually see a little bit of retracement before the main sell happens. Or let's see what would happen going into this week, because every single asset, especially stocks, they are all at all-time high or close to an all-time high or retracing from an all-time high. So you have no reason to be looking for a buy. You understand? You should only be looking for a position that would actually give you an edge when you're selling that market. Then let's look at GBP AUD. If you look at GBP AUD, I've actually been selling this pair since starting of this week with my VIP members. I think we got about TP1, TP2. Then the market also retraced a bit, and I expect this market to continue selling. Now you would ask me, why do you expect GBP AUD to continue selling? Of course, look at AUD USD. What can you see on AUD USD? The market is actually very bearish. The market is very, very bearish on AUD USD. So of course, that's what I'm also looking for. Sorry, the market is very bullish on AUD USD. All right, the market is very, very bullish on AUD USD. That's why I'm also still selling GBP AUD. I still expect one more dump here. We have some liquidity here, so at this point here, let me highlight it so you can see it. We have some liquidity here, and I expect the market to clear that liquidity below here. All right, I expect the market to clear the liquidity and get to this point here. So yeah, let's see what will happen, and hopefully make a lot of money from the market this week. Remember, if you're not in my Telegram channel, check the pinned message. You can actually join. Immediately join the Telegram channel, you will see the video which is waiting for you. Do you understand? You'll see the video which is waiting for you on how to join our mentorship channel. Then immediately you join the mentorship channel, then good for you. You can make money from the market with us, right? Or learn how to make money from the market. I love you guys so much. My name is Tonysnip3r, also known as Tonysnip3r. If you have any question for me before we end the live, please drop it below. I've given you guys some fundamental insights to pay attention to. I've given you guys my technical insights. So let's go over them one more time. For gold, I'm expecting one more buy. Although we might experience a little bit of retracement, then the market will continue pushing to the upside. AUD USD, NZD USD, the market is looking more bullish than bearish. Of course, we can actually see what's going on gold. So definitely, it would also develop strength too. US oil, I would love to see one more drop to the downside. And once the market gets to this zone, then I look for a massive buy to the upside. All right. Then which other pair? USD JPY. All right. So for USD JPY, the market is still in a consolidation phase at the moment. Remember, we have two types of consolidation or exhaustion. We have an exhaustion that leads to a reversal. We have an exhaustion that leads to a continuation. You ask yourself, which one is this market looking like? Is there an exhaustion that will lead to a reversal or an exhaustion that will lead to a continuation? Well, we'll find out. So the next online mentorship will be next year. Do you understand? It will be next year. So I don't know when that one will be by next year. I'll still update you guys. But for now, yeah, every single person is welcome to join. Do you understand? Every single person is welcome to join. So Those of you that have been asking what would the mentorship contain, I'll teach you guys fundamental analysis, supply and demand. At the end of the day, when I'm done teaching you, I can't carry profitability and put inside your head. I just teach you, then you put in the work. Now, once you put in the work, you ask questions, I always attend to you. But if you don't ask questions and you just day on your own, don't get angry if you're not learning anything. Now, someone is asking, thanks for this, sir. I'm still waiting for the video on supply and demand. Well, I don't think I'll ever post a video on supply and demand on my YouTube. At least not now. It could even take 2 years or 3 years before I do something like that, because all my students actually paid for that information. So that will be all for today. And also, please reduce the mentorship fee, boss. I'm sorry, man, that's the price. You can actually go for other mentors on the internet that are actually charging lesser. I know what I offer and I know the value of what I offer. So that's why the fee is like that. All right, before we end the live, please go tap that like button aggressively. Let's get that like to 500. We're currently at 368, and I actually feel we can do more. Get that likes to 500 while I'm answering some of your questions in the comments, so we can actually call it a day. I love you guys so much, and the month of September is going to favor me and my family. So you should also ask yourself, what are you looking to achieve in September? Have you written down your goals? Do you understand? Have you written down your goals? Will the mentorship contain basic things like candlestick pattern? Those are for individuals that are just starting to trade now. Definitely, I have educators in the mentorship. So the first 1 week or the first few days, they might just make sure, for those of you that are just learning, that don't know how to buy and sell, you don't understand this, you don't understand that, they'll definitely make it easier for you. Do you understand? They'll make it easier so everybody can actually join, okay? So that everybody can actually join and make money with us from the market. So yeah, please tell us about the physical mentorship. Physical mentorship, we're located in Abuja. You can search us on Google Map, Tonysnip3r Academy. You get the location directly to come meet us in Jabi. Right? Liquidity video. Yeah, definitely. Liquidity video is coming soon on YouTube. Don't worry. Then also, our VIP signal group will be open from tomorrow. For those of you that have already made payment for the mentorship, you don't need to pay for the VIP signal group, because for that 3 months, you're going to be getting access to free signals. But for those of you that are not part of the online mentorship, then you can make payment for the signal group, so that at least you can also be taking some trades, because I don't send signals to the free channel every single day. Do you understand? But my VIP, they get more signals than the free channel. So yeah, please, when it's time for the online mentorship, I'll actually explain that to everybody that have paid in the Telegram channel. We are going to have a recording channel where they can go back to watch videos even after they miss a class, and can also ask questions anytime, any day. Then we're also going to have a chat group where we chat and exchange information together. I help you guys answer your questions and ensure the profitability. How much is the mentorship? The mentorship is $259, 400K in Naira. So just head to my Telegram channel, tap the pinned message on this post, and it will take you directly to my Telegram channel. Now, once you join there, every other information you need, you'll get it there, all right? I love you guys so much. Thank you all for joining my live session. Spam that like button, guys. Tap that like button. Let's get that like button to over 500. All right? So see you guys next week. Make sure you're part of my Telegram if you're looking to make money this year. Remember, I remain Oko Anthony Uche, also known as Tonysnip3r. If you're part of the sniper gang, then you know we don't chase the market. We wait for the market to come to us. Tonysnip3r out. Peace, guys.